myself, like, can I sit down with y'all? Huh? Yeah, you can shake my hand. I don't get that close to people if I can't shake their hands. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. How many of y'all go to the university? Oh. It's about to get cranked up pretty soon, right? Yeah, there you go. So anyway, I'm sitting down here because I'm going to tell you all a story about this next song, and it takes a minute, if you don't mind. All right. But anyway, one way or the other, where's Willie? Is Willie here? Whereabouts are you, Willie? Where? Is he on stage? Oh, okay. Willie, raise your hand, buddy. Oh, there you are. Okay, so I used to sit when I was a kid, and I was in a band, and we had a band called Hot Lanta. And people used to say, why the hell are you called Hot Lanta when you're from Arkansas? But what it was the Allman Brothers had a song called Hot Lanta, so we named the band after the song. But one way or the other, I had the Allman Brothers Band live to Fillmore East album, right? And I used to sit and stare at it all the time. And I told Willie this, I was staring at it for like 2 hours, like something else was going to happen. You know, it's like, they're not going to move, they're not going to offer you a joint, this is just an album cover, you know, but I still sat and watched it all day long. Anyway, I worship this band, and it's such a thrill for me. And Willie has a book he wrote, and he called up and asked me recently, would I write a foreword to it? So I done it, didn't I, Willie? So anyway, whenever it comes out, y'all buy it. You know, you'll hear some good stories in there. But anyway, so we worship the Allman Brothers and you know, the whole Southern rock movement and all that kind of thing. And but I was one of these kids that I listened to Hank Williams and the Mothers of Invention and Captain Beefheart all on the same day, right? You know, like I was so schizophrenic, like nobody else in my town knew anything about what I was up to. I'm like listening to Frank Zappa and like Merle Haggard. It's like, what's wrong with you, dude? And one way or the other, I'll get to this story about this song. Every now and then, we do a humorous type song on records, and our first 2 or 3 Boxmaster records came about after my solo records did. And I'd been recording since, the first time I recorded was in 1974 in Muscle Shoals. And then after that in 79 well, I mean there were some shitty little studios in between, but I mean the next time I went to a real one was at Ardent Studios in Memphis, which is a real famous place. A lot of people did their stuff there. But one way or the other, so I go through this whole little rigmarole and grew up in bands, and ultimately became a roadie for a sound company and did that for several years. So guys like Willie are heroes to me because I was a little skinny, long-haired idiot, you know, lifted gear was way too heavy for me. And so when I meet a guy who was on the road with the Allman Brothers, it means a lot, you know, to actually be face-to-face with him. So, all right, so here's the story about this song. We got this new record out, it's called Somewhere Down the Road. It's a 2-record set, and we have 2 sounds. We sound like our heroes, you know, which were the British invasion guys combined with the late 60s LA rock like the Byrds and Buffalo Springfield, and which all meet in Memphis with Big Star. And Big Star was one of our favorite bands, so that's kind of who we pattern ourselves after. And then we have this moodier side where we do these dark, creepy songs, which we'll do a couple of those for you later. But and those are more inspired by J.J. Cale and John Prine and those type of folks. But anyway, here's the story. So we had this bass player in my band in Arkansas, and who, by the way, Dave played a Gibson Ripper. Right now. Anyway, so he was a good dude, one of my best buddies. And but he was just a dumbass, right? And he was one of these people who wasn't aware of his own dumbassedness, right? Exactly. He wasn't aware of his own dumbassedness. And he had like the most beautiful girlfriend around. Like everybody wanted this girl, but she was with him. Right? He just said dumbasses always get the pretty girls. But anyway, statistically, right? There probably is some study, right? But anyway, so he had this girl, and he laid on his ass all the time. He didn't work, and she paid all the bills, and she had the car, and she had the, yes, double wide trailer. And one way or the other, he came to me one time and he said, dude, man, she won't, I'm tired of this shit. I mean, she won't go along with anything I want to do. I said, well, like what? And what he wanted to do is he wanted to have a threesome with her and this other chick he met. And and I said, well, I mean, when you think about it, you know, what do you do for her that actually makes her maybe want to do that, you know? And I said, maybe if you'll cooperate a little bit, like do things like get a job, you know, things like that, maybe at least she'll be more open to it. So anyway, he was talking crazy, wasn't he? And also, mind you, this is in the 70s in Arkansas, and that wasn't exactly something everybody did. But still, right? Yeah. And so, one way or the other, things kind of improved with him. He finally got a job at the aluminum plant, and he got himself the Arkansas Hillbilly Dream, which was a Trans Am, a bass boat, and a 3-bedroom brick house. And if you had that, I mean, you were in business, you know. And so, right? And so anyhow, they got married. He comes to me about a year later and he says, tired of this marriage, man. I need my freedom. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't know, she's driving me crazy. I just need my freedom. And, but his family was very religious, and he said the only way he could get a divorce without being disowned was if she cheated on him. And now please forgive me, but I was broke at the time. And I was flat broke. Well, you know what? I don't know if the fist bump is really appropriate here because I ended up not doing it. But one way or the other, he said if you will just, you know, go in there. And I said, well, what if she won't have anything to do with me, you know? And he goes, well, just make like you're doing something so I can blame it on her, anything, you know? So, all right. But I thought about it a while longer, and he was about half crazy, and I thought, you know, what if he changes his mind about halfway through, and I get one behind the ear like the mob does to you, you know? And so I changed my mind at the end of the day, but he'd offered me $100, which to me was like $1.5 billion at the time. And so I ended up not doing it. But see, you sir are a smart man. What are you, a political science major? Finance? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, finance is the big deal these days, right? I was a psychology major. I went to Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. I only went a year and a half. I mainly played pool and drank beer. And I pledged Sig Eps. Are there any Sig Eps here? Not a one. Wow. Oh yeah, let me see if I can do this. Do you mind that we stop and fuck around every now and then? Is that all right? Okay. I'm going to see if I can do this, because I haven't thought about this in a long time. I may be able to, because my big brother was a guy named Nicky Akins, and he used to just beat the dog shit out of me. One time he took me by the heels and turned me upside down and beat my head on the front porch of the fraternity house. Anyway, okay. Johnson, Rourke, Jackson, Mooney, Smith, Brown, Weatherton, Williams, Hale, Barker, Strike, McCormick, Campbell, Sands, Chun, Aaron, Ward, Dipster, Stevens, Martin, Crawley. That's the past presidents of Sig Eps. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Xi, Chron, Pyrrhus, Sucrose, like Upsilon, Pi, Kappa, Omega, right? That's it, right? Anyway, yeah, I've pretended to be a fraternity guy for a little while, but I was just drunk all the time.